Today I want to discuss the US election, and I want to talk about how I traded the US election. So that happened like a few days ago. I think the results are still not out yet. At least I didn't see them yet. If you guys saw the results, let me know in the comment section or the chat. I'm curious. It's kind of strange this year. So anyway, I want to talk about this. I want to show you also how to do it and give you some more lessons about how to trade the elections to be more clear. And some of you guys here might have traded before in the election, maybe not. So you can let me know in the chat. And if you traded, you can let me know what were the results, if things went well or not. If you didn't trade, then why and what were the results, of course. I'm curious to hear. And let's just do that. It's going to be more informal. And at the end, we'll do a Q&A to go through your questions, of course. So that's going to be the plan. So first of all, trading the election, how I did it, some background, some kind of content on that, and then showing you on the chart how that worked out, and then some more details and a Q&A at the end. Sounds good. Awesome. Sounds good. Mohammed says sounds good. Good. And you can chat. You can comment in the chat if you have any question, any doubts, anything you want me to cover, of course. And that's what I want to do. So first, what I want to do is I want to kind of share this with you here. So Michael, who's one of the coaches in our academy, now you won't see me really well, but so Michael, who was one of the coaches in the academy, posted this before the election a few days ago. So I work with Michael for a while now. He's a really good trader. He's trading a big fund in China, and I thought it was good for him to share his advice in the academy we have. So I will kind of want to go through that first, and that's going to explain to you kind of what to focus on and what to look at for the U.S. election or any big event. Okay. So he says here, and you'll see on the screen right now. It says currently in the US, we have an extreme binary event. I'm not crazy about the twin traders and even coaches, so be careful. And not really sure what that means, but I'll try to add some real trade ideas to consider. So first things first, he said, is if one is thinking a possible big move, consider staying your trading strategies. So you want to trail your stop loss, basically. You want to be able to, if you are in the market or if you have any trades open already, you want to move stop loss to protect yourself. That can be really important. Okay. That works for any big event, by the way. Second thing he says is the risk reward concept never changes. Binary events, of course, they are greater reward and also potential greater risk that's coming with that. That's for sure. Third one, he says if you catch a good trade, be more aggressive with your stop management. So you might, like we said, trail your stop loss, move your stop loss faster, and try to make sure like you get tight on your trade. There's no like big room for price to reverse against you. Okay, that's really important. Yeah, things can come down. That's good. If trading AUD or NZD, the pairs, you have to keep an eye on gold futures and preferably go with confluence. So they have to align together. Gold in the election was crazy because the fact that, of course, when people panic, they buy gold, right? That's normal. So that was something we can look into, of course, after. And let me know if you have any question in the chat about these points. I think this is really important. Okay. Again, that's a professional trader who shared this, so that's something that you want to pay attention to, of course. Hands in pocket is always a good strategy. So passing on that trade on that setup should be acceptable with most compliance plan. Okay, good. And tomorrow's another day. Good. So the point here is that yes, if you're a beginner and if you've never traded an election before, then don't kind of start trading then. Okay, that's not the right place. For most people, they have to stay away first. They have to be able to take some time this time to learn by sitting away, doing nothing, looking in the market. And then next time, either like in the next election or the next big event, they will be more prepared to trade the election or trade the event. Okay. If it's your first time, then don't trade. If it's not your first time, like for myself, I've done it before, so I was kind of prepared, but I'm not the kind of person who can like take trades in the election really fast and be in the action and everything. I have other things to do, of course. And I was there to still trade, right? But in a way that was more based on managing my existing positions. So I had trades in the market already before the election coming in. I knew what to expect a little bit. So my goal was to be able to manage those trades properly now. Okay. So I want to show that on the chart. And these are the points that Michael had to share. Let me know if you have any question on this in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And now let's talk about how to do this on the chart. So the trades that I took took them a long time before, actually. They were not like recent trades. I was looking recently, but these trades, like I said, it took a long time. Okay. So on Euro JP, I was looking for this again resistance, like I said before. And so the trade was taken around here. Okay. So on October 7th, around this level. So what I do is I go back on lower time frames, right? So the trade was taken here on a I believe 1 hour chart. Exactly. So let's just go here, make this bigger. So I've explained the setup already, you know the setup and what it looks like. So we look for break with the Bollinger Band. Okay, now the Bollinger Band made a few free breaks here. These were not valid. And here we have this break. Okay, the first one, you'll see that, I'm trying to make it bigger and clearer here. So we have this break of the Bollinger Band over here. You see that we have this candlestick over there, and then we have this engulfing candle here. Technically, what we do is we enter below the low and put a stop loss beyond the high. Okay, so we enter over here and put a stop loss over here. However, if it's not triggered the next candlestick, which is this one here, we have to cancel the order. So here, this was not triggered based on the fact that we didn't go below here the low on the next candlestick. Okay, so we would have to cancel this one and delete this entry. Now we have the second. Now the cool thing here is that the setup repeats itself. So we had this first one there, but now we have a second one here. See this candle here breaking the Bollinger Band again, giant wick, engulfing candle, and now we will do the same thing, which is enter below the low, right there, stop loss above the high. Now in this case, you have to make a bigger stop loss because the fact that price is having a big wick. You could put your stop loss here, it's just not as safe, but you could do whatever you want. Put your stop loss above tier of the wick, or put your stop loss above the engulfing if you want, because this is like a really big wick. So enter below there, trade is triggered next candlestick. Now our targets are, like we said before, 2 to 1 and 3 to 1. 1 to 1 and 3 to 1. Sorry about that. So there, now we have a giant stop loss in this trade. Our order size is going to be smaller. We do 1 to 1, which took a while to enter, to exit. So 1 to 1 was over here, triggered on there, October 9th. So roughly 2 days after, which is pretty decent. We exit the first half here, and now the other half, we have to exit at 3 to 1, and that's why this one was still triggered in the election. Now you see this is a good place to be able to trail a stop loss. Let me just write 3 to 1 over here. There you go, 3 to 1. Okay, so this is like pretty massive, right? There you go. Now the thing is, I always let the trades run. I don't touch them, I don't modify them, I don't do anything with them usually, unless it's a big event, of course. But otherwise, it's just run and that's it. Okay. So now here's how this is interesting. So I like to let my trades run, like I said before. But then we got to the election, because this is like all before the election. Price went down like a trend, came back up, almost got stopped out over here, but still we're safe because of a wick here. If we would have stop loss there, we would have been stopped out. Okay, so that's why the stop loss here is for me really important. Now we move forward, and we get to the election over here. This is 21st, 25th, 27th, 28th. And on the day of the election, like see how before the election here, that's where I think things start to take place, right? Because the fact that, see how we get this trend over here? We get this downtrend, expecting the highs. Now, of course, that's after the election, okay? That's the 4th, and then the 5th and the 6th. So what I did here is, because I knew the election were coming, okay, as days went by, I just let the market go down and pull back and go down, so on. But when we get to the day of the election, the 6th, the 4th, no, the third, the third. When we get to this day, I saw here that I will have to be more aggressive and put my stop loss closer to the exit, basically. So what happened is I just began to train my stop loss. Put the stop loss around here at first. Okay, when I woke up on the 3rd, I put my stop loss there, and then I put it over here when price went down. Then price just went down here, and then hit the target. Okay, pretty fast. Now see how this is big, because if I didn't do this, if I wasn't careful about the trade, price would just have to, like, pull back after against me. Okay, so you have to be more aggressive in these times to trade the stop loss. So when we get this big wick, we stop loss here beyond the wick, price goes down. Price won't come back here unless there's a big market change. Okay, price won't come back over here unless things will really like change and price will pull back way over here. But here the trade was triggered before that. Okay, when price goes here, you can even pull your stop loss over here. Because remember, there's like kind of like a trend here, right? Price shouldn't come back to hit new highs. It should make lower highs all the time. So that's the principle here. Okay. Let me look at if you have any question about this and the issues you have. Yeah, these were all algo trades, by the way. I didn't do anything. I just moved the stop loss myself, but the trades were taken by the algo automatically. So USD JPY, it's very similar. This one was the opposite. So this one was a long trade. Okay. Now remember the Japanese yen, right? It's a currency pair that's there for. I mean, it's a pair that people buy when they are uncertain about the market. So this is likely to go down when people are in fear, not sure about the market. They are uncertain, right? It's a safe currency. So now, before the election, people I think were probably happy or like not they didn't care. But then before, after, people started to be uncertain. We see this over here, okay, when things start to go down, and I think now we'll break out from that range anyway. Same thing happened here. I was looking for bullish at the level here, 105 or so, and this was taken also on the mono chart. So we'll see the process taken on the 29th of October. So more recent, okay. So we had this big, again, same setup. No need to explain that much in detail. Engulfing candle, okay, and covering this one. So we enter beyond the high, stop loss below the low over here, and we look at 1-to-1 and 3-to-1 of your two risks. So there, this. So 1-to-1 is over here. There we go. And 3-to-1. Okay, now this one was like really tight, and also was scary because of the fact that we had opposite setups in this kind of trade. But again, you have to let it roll and let it go. Okay, it's not your job to think about what the market could do. It's your job to manage your trade properly. So 3-to-1 was over here. Okay, so this trade was similar in the sense that, or although similar but more difficult in the sense that we couldn't really trade the stop loss that much, and I'll kind of show you why. So we have this trade. Now we enter, price pulls back. That's totally normal. That's fine. Price goes up, goes back down. Then we have this opposite setup. Now most people, some people who trade with the algo or with my strategy and they use it on a daily basis, they prefer to exit at opposite setups. So they exit here. Okay, now you can do that. I don't recommend it because the fact that I've seen how you can have this setup here opposite, but because price is at the support area, it will still go against these opposite setups. Okay, so it could still work out really well. Now price goes, it still pulls through, although it comes back here quite a bit, but pulls through, and that's where we had the election here on the third. And this one you couldn't really trade anything, right? Because the fact that price was always like going up, going down, going up, going down, going up, going down. So not much things to do here. I just let the trade run. We get this one here. I think what would have been important here is if I'm triggered there at this high, okay, I would have to be able to find a way to put a stop loss over here or something to move it to at least break even. Because see how big this move is, right? We don't want to lose our profit and come back and loss. And in fact, we did come back and loss after. So, but because the fact that my targets are really calculated well based on the overall market circumstances and what worked the best in the past. So there's a reason why it's 1-to-1, 3-to-1, because it works the best in the past, and you have to kind of trust it there and kind of let it go. Okay, at this point. So the move were not crazy on this pair; they were okay, but based on the fact that I just basically let the trade run on that pair. Okay. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And let's just go back to this one here. Cool. So we have a question here from Daniel. Daniel was asking, how do you determine the trailing stop loss in long runner? Okay. I guess it's how to put your stop loss, like trailing stop loss. So to be able to trail your stop loss, you need to have a trend, first of all. If there's no trend, you cannot trail your stop loss. Doesn't make any sense. So when you have a trend, you put your stop loss like beyond as trends move on, adding new lows. That's pretty much it. Nice trade for showing what is sitting for Bollinger Band. It's just 22. 20 and 2, so you'll see it over here on the chart. Right there is 20 and 2. It's very simple settings, the basic one basically, so no issues with that. Awesome. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions and we can go through that. Questions about the elections, about anything else. It could be about trading in general, what to do next, something we can talk about too, and we can discuss. So happy to take some time for that. And if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Also, if you want to be able to work with us, I've left the link below if you want to apply for a call with me, and we can discuss how we can work together and help you scale up your trading and go full time eventually. So that's only if you're at a level where you are ready to scale up and you want to be taking this more seriously. If not, that's okay too. But if you want to be able to kind of go forward faster, get profitable, scale up after that, I think the academy will be a good fit for you. And I'll have the link below for that as well. If you want to be able to get advice, like I mentioned before, from Michael and other people in the academy as well, that would be awesome. So as a trader says, what percentage of your trades are algo compared to manual these days? Yeah, of course. And who designed your algo? So most of my trades now are based on the algo, but they follow the same strategy I had before, so nothing different. And the trades, they are just taken by the algo now. So it's the same thing as before, same thing as manual. The only difference is they're taken by the algo and they have fixed take profits. It's mostly that now. I trade breakouts still manually a little bit, but not that much. And the algo was developed by my coder in my team. So I paid a coder, a guy who's going for me almost full time now. And that's the one who's working on the algo and making it better all the time. That's how this works. Well, let's chat here. Let me find the chat again. Perfect. Awesome, guys. So I'll stay here for a few minutes. If you have any questions, make sure you comment in the chat. If not, that's fine. If you comment in the comment section after this is live also, I'll be able to answer your questions, of course. And we'll be good to go. So one thing that's important here is I think the results of the election are not out yet. So when the results come out, or when they're close to come out, which is I guess soon, there will be some really more big moves. Because you want to pay attention to, like I said before, things I mentioned is gold. Gold is crazy. All the AUD pair, the NZD pair are making big moves as well. You want to pay attention to all the also exotic pairs like USD, Mexican pesos. This is a big one. Let's look at it now if you want. That's a big one that's going to move a lot too. And yeah, that kind of stuff you want to look at it. Okay. So it's really important if you are new now to kind of stay on the sideline, but also watch the market. You don't want to stay here and do nothing and like just play video game, whatever. You want to be able to learn from the market and gain some more experience. Okay, that's really important. You want to be able to know what to do next time that this comes up, either an election or a different kind of market circumstances. You want to be able to you want to be able to trade well with that. Okay, that's really important, and that's something that you have to take time to master. And that it's gonna take some time for sure, but you'll get it. You'll get there eventually. You get to a point where you can trade these times and have no issues with that. Okay. The other thing you can do is if you want to still trade, you can reduce your size. Like go to maybe 20% of your size. If you trade like 1%, usually trade like 0.2%, and that would be a good move as well. If you want to be able to still trade but be more conservative, something you can do as well. The goal is just kind of build your experience. And I know for a fact that these elections are good. I made like a good profit there with like already 2 trades profitable right away. So that was a good thing. But awesome. So yeah, a few questions here I want to answer. Joshua says, "What is your take on GBP, Japanese yen?" I guess we can look at it after. Other trader says, "How expensive is it to get an algo made for my strategy?" If you use my coder, it might cost about. It depends between 1K to 3K or something. If you wanna talk with him, you can just send me an email. I'll be happy to connect you with him, and we can see how that works. For me, I probably paid about like 10K so far for the algo, just because working on it like every month. But it's always a process of making it better. But if you just want to have a job done and that's it, then that would be cheaper for sure. Looking for algo. Daniel says looking for algo. I'm trading futures index micro currently. Okay. How does Forex differ from futures? It's pretty much similar. It's just the size of different, and the platform are different, but the rest is all the same. Basically, it's still trading anyway. So okay. Also on futures, you have currencies, but they're not pairs. They're just like currencies. You can trade the US dollar, but you cannot trade like pairs usually. That's wrong. Okay, so JPY, not a pair that I trade. It's a pair that was really not profitable with my ago. So we can look at it a little bit though. Um, there we go. Wrong one again. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's just move this here. Perfect. That should work out. Yeah, I was checking the US election result, not out yet. So we'll see what that comes out to be. Okay, awesome. So let's discuss that. JPY, perfect. Okay. So I still have my things there. That's good. So that pair is in a range for quite a while now. And basically what I would do in that case, and because it's just compressing, is you have to wait for price to hit either the upper level or the lower level. So 1.27, 127 or 147. So that's what I will look for. Between that, I have no interest to trade. You can look on the daily chart to be having more setup if you want. But again, this is like really messy. There's no place to have big moves, especially if you swing trade. If you day trade, that's different. But if you swing trade, then that's not a pair you want to trade for now. Because between the range doing not much. See how we have many trades set up here? But this you cannot do anything. This is like goes there, comes back, goes there, comes back. You cannot trade this. Okay? Those trades are going to be bad. We had one trade there, but again, this is near the top level. Okay, that actually is a really good trade. So let's put the movement here. Yeah, that's a really good trade, but not triggered either. A forward chart. See, that's not that much going back and forth. There's no place to have any room for profit in that case. And same thing here. We have setup, but these are all failed setup anyway. It's not at a range. It's not at the top of the range or the bottom. It's in between. So you're not gonna trade anything there, in my opinion. Okay, again, you can trade intraday maybe, but you're not gonna trade on a higher time frame with that pair for sure. Awesome. So guys, appreciate your time for being here and being live with me. That's been awesome. Sorry for the delay and the issue with all the charts, but hope that makes sense. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments as well. I'll be happy to help. And yeah, my pleasure to be here. Of course, we'll do videos like this every single day this week. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and that way you'll be notified of future videos on the channel.